Go.
Today we are going to talk with the author of The Kite Runner and A Thousand Splendid Suns, Khaled Hosseini. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Well, I was born in Kabul, Afghanistan in 1965. My father was a diplomat with the Afghanistan Foreign Ministry, and my mother was a high school teacher in Kabul. Our family was relocated to Paris by the Foreign Ministry. We planned to move back to Kabul eventually, but the invasion of the Soviet army had already begun. We sought political asylum in the U.S., so we ended up moving to San Jose, California. Later, I earned my medical degree in the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine. I began writing my first book, which was Kite Runner, while doing my medical studies, and later I wrote A Thousand Splendid Suns afterwards.
What is that your novel, A Thousand Splendid Suns, focus on?
Well, my novel, this one focuses more on the two female characters, Miriam and Lila, which both are the protagonists of the stories. Both suffer a great deal of pain and conflicts in their life. My novel is divided into two parts, which is Miriam's side of the story and Lila's side of the story. It focuses on their struggle in Afghanistan and the things they had to do in order to survive in their country.
How were the female characters in the novel created?
Well, most authors use their experiences and their things they see to create authors, but usually I use my imagination or stuff I saw back in Afghanistan.
What responses do you want the readers of A Thousand Splendid Suns to have?
What I hope the readers discover, I hope that they discover that the characters are having changes that are affected by the things they see or the things that happen to them. Mostly the characters were created from my imagination, from what I saw, so it's very similar to people in Afghanistan, so I want them to see that also.
Can you tell us more about Miriam? What happened to her in the past and how did this affect her later on in the story?
Well, the book first starts with Miriam's side of the story, since she is the older of the two main characters. Well, when she was little, it was just her and her mother living together because her father, Jalid, wasn't really around with them since he had 3 other wives and 9 other children. She suffered greatly since her mother was really ashamed of her, and her dad didn't pay that much attention to her. Eventually, her mother commits suicide, and Daddy gives her away to a man, and then she's married to this older guy, and ends up living with him.
What roles does Lila play in the story?
Lila is the younger of the two characters. She plays a major role in the story as well. During the time of war, her house is bombed by a missile, and her family is all killed. Marian's husband ends up finding her, and Lila is eventually married to Marian's husband, and a lot of suffering starts afterwards.
What do you think readers are going to like most from your novel?
I think readers are really gonna like the fact that this is very basically on real life in Afghanistan. They're gonna see very much similarities to what really happened, and they're gonna like the real events took place in the book as it did in real life.
What inspired you to write this novel?
Well, all the things that are happening in Afghanistan inspired me to write this book. I want readers to know about how women are treated in Afghanistan. I want them to see that they don't really have enough rights over there.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to having you again.